accused of killing a friend after a disagreement over food is now in custody 2 weeks after the shooting.
LaMarcus Darden Jr. is accused of shooting Jarvis Davis at a Fort Worth apartment after Davis would not share his French fries. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's mom today. Peyton.
Steve, and multiple people witnessed this shooting inside of an apartment, including children. So Fort Worth police tell me they were confident in who they were looking for. We now know this 18-year-old suspect was tracked down all the way to Tyler, Texas. That's about 140 miles away from Fort Worth. He was tracked down to a hotel. Fort Worth police tell me it's possible he has family in that area, but he's now back in North Texas. That suspect is at the Tarrant County Jail tonight.
It's so senseless.
Senseless. That's how Sharika Kennedy describes the murder of her son.
Why? Now, that's the question. Why? No, my baby was probably genuinely his friend. My baby wasn't expecting him to shoot him. Everybody in the house was like, they thought he was joking about the fries.
19-year-old Jarvis Davis shot and killed inside this West Fort Worth apartment near Camp Bowie in 820 back on January 28th. Witnesses told police a group just got back from grabbing food at Wingstop when there was an argument. Investigators say Davis didn't share his fries with the suspect, later identified as 18-year-old LaMarcus Darden.
My son's girlfriend was laying on his lap at the time of it, and she said she just heard a glass break. A gunshot and a glass break.
Fort Worth police say Darden pulled out a handgun, shot Davis in the head, and took off from the complex. He was tracked down nearly 2 weeks later. Kennedy, a mother of 8, now with a missing piece in her family and frustrated considering she says her son and Darden were friends.
How it happened is just, I'm never going to be okay with it. I'm never going to be okay with it.
And Darden transferred to the Tarrant County Jail yesterday. He is charged with murder. This evening, we reached out to his attorney. They got back to us. The attorney tells us he's not ready to make a public statement at this time.
This is the book of St. Matthew's, chapter 24, verse 12 in the NLT. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. Kol Hulayim La. Al-Banawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakat, Chodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. St. Matthew's chapter 24, verse 12 in the NLT. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. And this is another prime example of the love of many growing cold in this captivity, man. Okay, you know, prior back a few months back, you know, myself and a few other brothers did a lesson on Israelite woman getting, you know, deleted by another Israelite woman for not basically saying thank you for holding up the door. And now you got Jake literally in his feelings, okay, upset, butthurt over some damn Wingstop French fries, man. So you took the life of your homeboy, your partner, your comrade, over some fucking French fries, man. And it just shows you that the prophecies are literally walking off of the pages, man. Okay, the love of many waxing cold, and also in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, man, you know, it's just not stating that that desire for bread, you know, food, water, resources is only going to happen in famine, but you know, now too, man. And you got a lot of these cats which love to beg, man. You know, that's one thing about Jake. Jake has no problem being a beggar and not, you know, having any hustle, any motivation to, you know, accomplish things for himself, man. Okay? You know, and again, French fries, man. So, these matters of people getting their life taken away from them is going to get smaller and smaller by the minute. Again, you had one Israelite woman get her life taken because of an argument over holding the door, not saying thank you, and now you got this, man. So imagine what else is going to happen in the very near future, man. You cause harm to a man that's supposed to be your homeboy and that felt comfortable and secure around you, and you took his life over some damn Wingstop French fries. Now, I've had Wingstop French fries, and they ain't nowhere near to have an argument, to die for, or anything of that nature, man. Over some Rick Ross French fries, man. But let's continue, man. Let's jump to the book of Proverbs real quick, man. It's going to be a quick one, man, because as you can probably hear, under the weather again. Was under the weather last week, cleared it up a little bit, but it came back. So, I don't want to write this out, man. I can do what I got to do to get rid of this damn head cold, man. I ain't been sick in a while, man. I hate fucking being sick, man. So let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. And I'm going to read verses 29 to 30. Do not devise evil against your neighbor who lives securely beside you. And again, this was supposed to be his homeboy, his comrade, his partner that felt secure and safe around him, that didn't have in his mind that he might would lose his life if he didn't share his fries with his homeboy, man. Because your homeboy's stomach was so damn wet and on fire and desiring your fries. Now, you mean to tell me if this nigga has a pistol on him, you couldn't get $5 to $10 to get yourself some damn fries, man? And it also shows you too the love of many. People shall be lovers of their own selves, man. There's no such thing as sympathy, pity, mercy, or none of that stuff in these last days, man. And we know also too that this goes into the curses of our people having that hatred, that enmity towards one another. But that still doesn't give you no damn reason at all, regardless, to take out a man over some fries, man. Over some fries, some Rick Ross Wingstop fries, man. Proverbs 3 verse 29, do not devise evil against your neighbor. So he literally thought about this in a split second of having a conversation, an argument with this man over his food that he more than likely bought or his woman, and devise evil in the matter of 30 seconds I'm going to take his life against your neighbor. Okay, and your neighbor's your fellow Israelite, not no damn heathen, man, who lives securely beside you. He obviously he's comfortable beside you. He feels like he doesn't have to worry about being threatened or to have in his mind that you might take him out for the very smallest matter that he can think of that can be brought forth between y'all. Verse 30, Proverbs 3 verse 30. Do not quarrel with a man without cause if he have done you no harm. So he's done you no harm, and you went above and beyond the quarrel. You intentionally executed the man, and as you heard the mother say, that his woman was laying on his lap. Why it happened? So this man caused you no harm. Didn't want to share his food, which he has the right to. And me personally, if I'm eating, if I gotta, this just me personally. This is just me speaking at, how I am. If I have enough food now, and I don't see nothing wrong with it, I'll share it with you, but I don't have to. I don't have to share my food with you. And if you with me and you ain't got no funds, you didn't get paid, whatever the case may be, and you hungry, I'll feed you. I don't got no problem doing nothing like that. I don't know the situation, how this occurred, how it happened, but it still shouldn't result to you taking out your homeboy, your comrade, your buddy, however you want to state it, over some fucking fries, man. Things is getting worse and worse out here, man. And you see the Lord has the prophets catching these videos to show you what's being done, man. Security is non-existent, man. Because the real security on the planet is the Lord holding things back. It's not the goddamn Esau and his slave patrol, aka the police. It's Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah holding everything back, man. And the Lord's out here calling the shots. The Lord's out here letting people get clapped, again, by the smallest matters. This is a small thing. So imagine what the Lord is going to do next to show forth that he's in control, man. You might hear me or another brother do a video to catch wind of somebody getting executed because they didn't get the correct change. They was a penny short from their change. At whatever store it is, you might hear something like that. Okay? So let's continue, man. Because like I said, I ain't gonna keep this too long. But hey, man, all Jake knows was violence. Because what is being promoted to Jake? What is being advertised and indoctrinated in Jake? Violence, man. The movies, the music, the culture, the black culture, Latino culture, Hispanic, Native and Single Indian culture, all that stuff is death. Okay, everything that is being advertised and indoctrinated and taught to Jake is mayhem, chaos, destruction. Okay, handle things through emotions and not logical. So this is Romans 3, and I'm gonna read verses 15 to 17. Their feet are swift to shed blood because they don't know how to handle matters through conversation. They don't have any control over their emotions. They're completely unstable. Okay, because again, a lot of these men, which they're little boys, they have the characteristics, the traits of a woman. Okay? Verse 16, Romans 3, verse 16, destruction and misery are in their ways, because that's all they know. That's all they've been taught. That's all they've been seeing is destruction, misery, mayhem, chaos. And there's no way for you to learn how to handle things correctly and to have correct discernment and to have logical, intellectual common sense. There's no way for that. Verse 17, and the way of peace they have not known, because to handle a matter peacefully is the correct way, and they haven't been taught that. They haven't been taught that because, it's a lot of factors going into it with our nation. And one of the main, which is everything is of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, going into the curses and everything else. But one of the main factors is that Esau destroyed the family structure. So the men that are being raised right now from the 2000s and up, and even the 1990s and up, or 1995s and up, they're being raised by Big Mama and they aunties and they mama, man. Okay, and it's a lot of different stuff that have these so-called men, which are really man children that don't have control of their emotions, man. Okay, I'm gonna read this straight out. Romans 3 verse 15. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Okay, because the music. I'ma kill a nigga. Movies, killing. Okay, all the things in black culture is just what? Death, drugs, money, sex, adultery, theft. That's all it is, man. Destruction and misery are in their ways, because that's all they know is destruction and misery. Okay, and the way of peace they have not known, and that's plain and simple. And we're going to grab one more. We're going to close it out. And, you don't want to be a damn beggar again, man. Me, myself, personally, man, I can't be out here begging, man. You know, shit. I just see that you gotta go out here and grind, man. You know, you don't want to be begging nobody for nothing, man. Now there's times you might be down and out, which is understandable, but you still gotta make a way, man. Okay, you still gotta make a straight way to do what you gotta do. Okay, so let's grab this last precept, because you're not supposed to live a beggar's life, man. That's shame on to you, man. To basically have desire and also to rely and to live off another man's table, man. Off another man's dime. So this is Sirach chapter 40, verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of begging is sweet in the mouth of shame. It's because again, a person that begs, they don't see nothing wrong with it. A person that begs, they believe that somebody owes them something. Nobody owes you a damn thing. Okay, a person, and also too, this Jake probably believed that his homeboy owed him something. You owe me those fries. You owe me a taste. Just give me a little bit. Okay, and again, I don't know the situation. We don't know what happened. We don't know what occurred. But again, it's a small, me personally, to myself, it's a small thing. I don't got no problem sharing no food, even buying a brother no food, man. That's just me personally, man. But who's to say that man didn't eat all day? We don't know what really occurred, man. But look at this nigga, man. You can tell this nigga's demonic, man. No remorse. No shame in his face. No disregard, no fear. Does not feel sorry for what he did, man. That's the face of like, damn, I got caught. Fuck. If I just didn't go to that spot, I would have still been on the streets. That's that look. That's not a look of him feeling regretful for taking his homeboy's life, man. Okay? So again, Sirach 40 verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in his belly there shall burn a fire. That nigga's belly was wet as hell for them fries, man, soaking wet. And when his friend, when Jake kept on telling him no, it was a fire of vengeance over some fucking fries. It was a fire of him feeling disrespected because his homeboy wouldn't share his food, his fries, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. But I'm gonna leave it right there, man. I don't want to rock this out, man. I hope and I pray that this was edifying and terrifying, because it's going to get worse out here, man. It's going to get worse out here, man. Okay? Again, you got people executing people over not saying thank you for holding the doors, and now you got people executing people for Rick Ross Wingstop fries, man. For fries, man. Listen to how that sounds. For fries. And it's not because Esau didn't come to the rescue. It's because the Lord ordained it. So if the Lord keeps on doing stuff on small things, because these are small things, imagine how smaller it can get. As I stated, you can have somebody go to the store and be 1 penny short on their change, and guess what? They ain't making pennies no more. You might have somebody just flip out over that 1 penny. I don't want to rock this out, man. I hope and I pray that this was edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true, sincere Aki and Akwa. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.